2 occasions.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you tell me about those?
I can't remember when they were.
Were they before she became DA?
So I don't know if she had a security detail before she became DA. So, I mean, if she was sworn in, or I don't remember the dates, but I do remember.
Envision a sanctuary where community and sustainability are the cornerstones of living. In this haven, every family is able to grow their own food, children flourish through homeschooling tailored to unlock their full potential, and education extends beyond textbooks, instilling self-worth and a deep understanding of the world around them. Here, goodwill isn't just an ideal, it's the essence of daily life, where respect for law and order harmonizes with the community's resourcefulness. This place isn't just a dream, it's a call to action for everyone who believes in a better, more connected way of living. Join us in building a future where each individual's contributions create a tapestry of enduring harmony and prosperity. Join us in Hotepistan.
The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. Views and opinions expressed by Hotep Jesus are those of Hotep Jesus's and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Hotep Nation or any of its officials. If you have any questions about this disclaimer, please contact our Office of General Counsel via the sheet of the town. And Hotep and them.
Chat, who been told them? Who been told them? They cut the stream last night. The Grift Report starts right now.
2, 1, boom. Hotep Jesus.
Of all the Jesuses I know, he's the Hotepiest. Social scientist and YouTube host, Hotep Jesus.
How the fuck do you get a name like Hotep Jesus?
The one and only Hotep Jesus.
Ryan Sharp, better known to the world as Hotep Jesus.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Somebody said, what do you think you are, some kind of Hotep Jesus?
Ooh,
and
that's
I was
good.
Just like, ooh, that's sexy. Yes, I do think I'm Hotep Jesus.
Good afternoon, Hotepistan. Welcome to the Grift Report, live Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm your host, the Grift Guard.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Hotep to the chat. Hotep to the Hotepistanis.
Hotep.
Shout out to the great Khalid Muhammad. Chat, where we at with it? Let me check on the chatters. Y'all see they clipped the stream last night. Lauren, what up? Steph is in the house. Haram Life. Haram Life made the Grift Report today, y'all.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
He made the Grift Report. I got Haram Life tweet in the bag. In the bag. I got the, look. I got the stream up. Right here. We got the stream up right here. And I'm telling you right now, Shorty not.
Let's see.
She don't know how to run the case. This prosecutor is trash.
And you had knowledge about an apartment. I'm not asking what Mr. Wade told you in furtherance of legal advice, but you had knowledge about an apartment in East Point or a condo in East Point that was owned by someone, and Miss Willis was staying there.
He choking on the stand.
I think in the way the
questions phrased. She qualified that, so.
I did not have knowledge.
You did not have knowledge.
I did not have personal knowledge at all. No.
So no knowledge outside of what is privileged.
That's correct.
Did you have texts between yourself, Ms. Willis, and Mr. Wade?
Do I?
Have you ever?
I have. Maybe once or twice, but.
Did Mr. Wade ever ask to use your credit card to pay for trips?
Objection. On privilege, I think we still the same thing.
Just asking to use your credit card, how's that the nature of furthering a divorce proceeding?
Y'all, this shit crazy.
I had a business card, and
Nerd, what up?
we would use my business card. The firm would use my business card.
For travel?
Are you asking if I use my business card for travel?
Would Mr. Wade use your business card for travel?
I recall,
they got this nigga buckling on the stand.
I recall a trip, but I don't know if that trip has anything to do with this case. So I do recall him using my card once.
When was that?
I don't even know when that was, and that sounds true. I recall him using my card once, but I cannot remember what that was for. I do remember it was a trip, but I cannot accurately state, where it was and who it was with or anything like that.
And he paid you back for that trip in cash?
I can't remember how he paid. I think it was. I mean, I'm not certain if it was cash or a check. We routinely would use my card for filings, for paper, for whatever stuff with the office.
But this was I'm sorry. You're done. Sorry.
And so he would, whether he paid me back in cash or whether he wrote a check, it was paid back to the business card.
But this was the only time he had used it for travel.
Sweating like a hoe in church. See him tapping his pencil? Look what the Democrats, this is Biden. Who been told you?
I cannot recall. I don't even have that business card.
They got him up on the stand, stuttering.
But I do recall at least once for travel, yes.
And
this shit
when
crazy.
You were still law partners with him, though, correct?
That's correct.
Do you recall approximately when that was?
I do not.
You did not go on that travel with him, though, correct?
I did not.
Okay. And so he asked you to use your card for the travel.
Yes, I'm assuming. We would use the card for firm stuff, and so it was a business card.
Your business card, though.
It was my business card, yes.
Right.
The law office of Terrence A. Bradley, correct.
Okay. So it showed up on your accounts.
That is correct.
Okay. Wouldn't show up on his accounts, though, correct?
That would be accurate, yes.
Do you know if this was before he became special DA in this case, special prosecutor?
I cannot recall.
Did you see he and Ms. Willis together? You said you were in and out of the office, in and out of the DA's office. You saw them together, correct?
In and out of my office or the DA's office?
The DA's office.
Correct.
You saw them together in and out of the DA's office?
Did I see them in and out?
Yes.
Well, if you preface it like that, no. I saw him in and out of the office when I would be there doing my filter work for the tank team.
Okay.
He would come by. I rarely saw Miss Willis and Mr. Wade together in the DA's office.
So, brought up the tank team. Let's talk about that for a minute. Tell me about, you did work as, you had a contract as a tank lawyer, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And that was in the anti-corruption unit?
Yes, I think so. Yes, correct.
And how did you get that contract?
What do you mean? How did
Said
I
that
get it?
Yoni must have been
How did you
fired.
get the contract?
It was.
Bid? Did you apply online?
Oh no. It was proposed.
By who?
We were. It was proposed by.
He
I guess it
folded
came
hard,
from
nerd.
The district attorney. I mean, I didn't speak directly with her.
Okay.
It was with Mr. Wade, and he asked if we would be interested in having a contract with the Fulton County.
Okay. He asked
I
you
said,
and
what?
Mr. Campbell?
I think so. I mean, I can't recall if he asked us both together or not. Rarely. We all handled several, not different things for the firm.
Okay.
Criminal, personal injury, things like that, family law. And so rarely were we together there at the same time, like for an abundance of time. So he may have called me and then he may have called Chris. I can't remember, I can't recall how we got the contract, but
Was Mr. Wade, to your knowledge, part of the transition team for Ms. Willis?
I need y'all to see this. Burn this image in your head.
Transition team.
Did he spend a lot of time at that office during this transition period?
He did.
So from when Ms. Willis took office to when you left the firm, did Mr. Wade spend most of his time at the DA's office?
Oh, man.
When you say most of his time, you're saying just working business hours?
Yes,
or
working business hours.
I would say he spent
That's a good question.
I would probably say he spent majority of time. If you say over 51%, I would say yes, he spent over 51% of his time.
Okay. And that was the entire time from when she took office to when you left the firm?
What up, Montoya?
I can't say that was the entire time, but yes.
You think he got paid by Fani?
It was I can't pinpoint specifically when the time that he would spend. I think
take your time now.
If my memory serves correctly.
Take your time.
Getting to the majority of the time, it would have been whenever he started with this, maybe.
As a special prosecutor?
When you say majority of the time.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about the time before he became special prosecutor. Did he spend a lot of time at the DA's office then?
He spent time. It depends on what you say is a lot. He spent time at the DA's office, correct.
And so, just so we're clear, you were hired first on January 25th. Both you and Mr. Campbell were law partners, and you were both hired by the DA January 25th, 2021. Is that correct?
Repeat the question, I'm sorry.
You and Mr. Campbell both were hired on a contract basis by DA Willis January 25th, 2021.
Uh-oh.
Which contract are you talking about?
The first one, the tank contract. Not the first appearance contract, the tank contract.
Well, you said the first one, and the tank contract wasn't the first contract, and so...
Okay, so
He said wait.
So what was the first contract?
To my knowledge, the first contract was the first appearance.
Okay, so let me just mark these. Let's see what number we 23, 24,
Dre, what up, man?
5.
It's looking ugly in here. Hotep's been told you. Before Biden lead a house, they locking niggas up.
Judge, when they're done reviewing these contracts.
They set you up to take out their enemy. And as soon as you try and take out their enemy and you fail, they sacrifice you. That's why I need y'all to see this. I need y'all to see. This is what I was saying about the Biden administration. Goldstein say look like he won't cry. I'll be pissed if they had me up on the stand. Like, you lusty motherfuckers. You got me up here on this stand? What is going on?
This rally is showing you it's been marked on exhibit 23, 24, and 25. You can just look at those.
She's not a good prosecutor either. She's been doing quite a terrible job. We're gonna have Patriot J join us, top of the hour, give us some insight. So look out for that. We're gonna call Patriot J sometime after 3 p.m. That's how we'll do that. Here. Young Thug coming home. That's why that's what I'm saying. If this get Thug free, like, people think this is just about Trump. Nah, this is the Thug case too. They always send a black woman. They always find these. Remember we talked about it last night. They coming from Harvard. They coming from Harvard. These chicks coming from Harvard. Not Harvard. Howard. I'm sorry. Howard. The whole feminist crew. Strong black woman. Having problems with their man relationships.
Okay, I see.
Daddy's girls.
So on, now that you've reviewed those, is it true that on January
They need to put Matlock in there
you got your
ASAP.
first contract as a taint lawyer?
Got him shuffling through papers. Look at him.
As a taint lawyer, yes, I see the date on that as a taint lawyer, but I'm also looking at this contract here for first appearance, and there must have been. I don't have it for me, but there must have been a contract before this.
Okay, so you think there's a fourth contract?
I can't say that there is or isn't. What I do know is that we did first appearance during COVID, and it was before 2021. So I don't know.
I feel like a sauna up there.
If I had a written contract at that particular time or anything, but I do know. I think that you could look at the recordings because everything was recorded at that time. As to when
See how they do us?
The first appearance contract started.
See how they do us?
And the 10th contract started.
See how they do us?
When the three of you were partners,
Don Day
you
is
had
crazy,
two
bro.
contracts to do taint work, which is filter work, and then at least two contracts to do first appearance work. Pretty much throughout that entire 2 years, right?
Reminds you of a Medea movie?
So,
Facts.
I mean,
Facts.
It just renewed. So yes, I mean, if it was the same contract.
Check his blood pressure.
Okay. And so how did you? And you said you got these contracts
James World says
through
somebody
as
check
well
his
as
blood
given to you,
pressure.
but it was through her knowing Mr. Wade, correct?
Oh no. Damn. They get us every time, and we be warning them, like, yo,
I didn't have a
stop.
meeting with Miss Willis or anything.
Get your nose out of white folks' business.
It was brought to the attention.
She couldn't
that,
wait to be the one.
a
I'm gonna
contract
be the
was
one to take down
be
Trump.
awarded.
I'm gonna be the one to take
And
down
if
Young Thug.
Or if I was interested, because this was
Now everybody up on the
mine, I
stand.
said yes, and so
And so Mr. Wade brought that to your attention?
he asked if I was interested in doing the contract, correct? And then after that is when Miss Willis, would come in, or I think we actually came down here or something, and signed the contract.
Okay. And so that is how you
Yup.
were paid from Fulton County. These
That head shining. Let me say his head shining.
From Fulton County government? Yes, ma'am.
Like
and
pass
you
that nigga a
shared
towel.
your partnership. You shared a third of all your profits.
It
with
was a
Mr.
whole
Wade.
freak off.
At that time, yes.
And so
Never
his
said it was a
contract,
whole
he got a
freak off.
contract that same year, 2021, and he shared a third of all his profits with you, correct?
Yes, that should be fairly accurate.
Okay.
This
So
is
during
crazy.
2021, 2022, you all had 2 filter taint contracts. You had 2 first appearance contracts, and you had Mr. Wade's special counsel contracts, correct?
I am all for exposing all the corruption in every DA office in
My
the
firm
country.
had-
Bring it on. Uh-oh.
What I have here,
Okay.
correct?
But Mr. Campbell and Mr. Wade
They
were
set
part of
these
your firm,
niggas up.
correct?
Biden and them.
We didn't, I don't think at this time we had established WBC.
Okay.
At this time, I think it was.
This shit crazy.
I had mine, Chris had his, Nathan had his, and we operated in the same building. But if you asked me, did we fee share or, without everything that came in, yes, that is correct.
So you weren't actually partners, you just fee shared.
At this time,
What up, Rob?
well, yes, at this time, we were not. We were, at this time, I had Law Officer Terrence Bradley, Chris Campbell, PC, and whatever Nathan's was, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just,
And all these the taint contracts and then Nathan's special counsel contracts, all of those were under the anti-corruption unit, correct? You can look
first
at
appearance was not under that. The tank contract, if I recall, was under the. I don't think they called it. What are you calling it?
You can take a look at the contract if you need.
Okay.
And I'm not asking about the first appearance, I'm asking about the taint contracts and then Mr. Wade's contract, which has already been admitted in evidence if you need to look at that.
And the thing is, even if it's nothing there, right? Even if it's nothing there, just the fact that they going through your shit. This is what we call proof of Bitcoin. Proof of crypto. Start doing your transactions anonymously. That's why she was up there saying cash. And people was missing the lesson.
Well, I see on the first page where it
Cash
says
is king.
attorney, and I'm trying to go through and I see where it continues says taint attorney, but it always says Fulton County District Attorney's Office. Your question was specific as to the anti-corruption unit, and I'm looking for the verbiage of anti-corruption unit, so I apologize.
No, take your time.
Nathan Wade motions to disqualify hearing in Georgia Trump case. So, have we learned our lesson yet?
On both pages, I mean, it starts
Have we
out
learned
with
our
the
lesson
County
yet?
District Attorney's Office, and then it just goes to initials.
Just putting your nose in other people's business,
Unless
and now you mad because your
I'm
sneaky link
overlooking
is all on the
where
TV
it
screen.
says the anti-corruption unit, then the contract was with the FCDA. I mean, unless you want to show me something.
I'm just asking you, and I didn't know if that would refresh your memory. Those contracts were for the anti-corruption unit, right?
Well, they were for the
Is that who you worked for?
I worked for the DA.
Okay.
I worked for the DA.
Okay, so just in general, the DA.
Correct. I worked for Fulton County District Attorney's Office in as a contract person, as it says here.
And when you did the taint work, you had to report to Sonia Allen?
I did not.
You did not. Who did you report to then?
I can't remember his name. His first name was Brian.
It wasn't me.
Okay.
Don't say my name. Don't say my name.
I know you said you met with Miss Willis when you signed those contracts, right?
Yes, I know I met at least one time to sign these contracts, or to sign when I signed the contracts, yes.
Did you meet with her any other times?
Did you meet with her any other time? Loki, 10 gifted memberships.
I did not personally meet with Miss Willis any other time. When you say meet, what do you mean meet? What?
Talk with her. Meet with her.
I mean, I would see Miss Willis.
These are terrible
and
questions,
asking if I'm
by the way.
walking
This
through
is a
the-
terrible
through the office
prosecution. This
and
is terrible.
something like
She is
that.
wasting our time.
But No, I didn't have any meetings with Miss Willis.
Okay, so the only times you met with her.
Here's what I'm asking. Have you ever seen them in bed together? Are you familiar with Diddy's freak offs?
I mean,
Sat down and had a conversation.
Have you ever met TD Jakes? Let's get right to it.
I signed these contracts, so when I signed these, I met with her to say that I sat down and spoke with Miss Willis. Are you saying in life, and you saying during this time? What are you asking me?
I mean, if it's voluminous, I can narrow down the time.
If you
But I
if you're
I
not
wasn't
careful,
I haven't really heard a point in a while. Can we get along to something,
Yes.
or we're gonna have to wrap it up?
see the
So
judge.
one more question
See,
about
you
your
see,
text. Have
the
you
judge was
ever
like,
been
"Come
in
on,
a
wrap it
group
up,
text
yo. You
with
bullshitting."
anybody other than with me and somebody other than Mr. Chopra and Mr. Merchant.
That's how you know this shit is theater.
Narrow that down. I'm
Cause they just threw anybody at this
Or with
shit.
him, if there had been any other texts. And I think that state had some thing in rebuttal they mentioned, so I was just trying to clean that up before it got there.
Can try the question one more time.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Isn't it true that the only texts that you and I have ever had
Yo, what
has
is
been
that?
between me, you, and Mr. Chopra?
What's going on?
Can I look at my phone?
Sure.
Hey, Tech Leads. This is Monday Dev.
That shit was fucking with my ears. Hold on, let me change the stream.
What's the relevance of that, Ms. Merchant?
They've
That was terrible.
said multiple times that there's this third party that we've
Somebody
talked
spiked
to,
the
and
stream
I'm trying to
or
establish
something.
there's no third party. And I
Had to
don't know
switch
why
to
it was relevant,
Associated
but the
Press
state
real
argued
quick.
it, so.
Well, if this person doesn't know why it's relevant, then
They in the
might have relevant later, but right now.
Ms. Merchant, I think you've
Look.
been able to show
Okay.
what maybe
Look at the
launched
chat
this
over on
and
Associated
answer
Press.
the
They in there
state's
calling it
initial
ghetto.
claims, and so let's get back to the core of what we were here for this hearing. Do you have anything else relevant to ask this witness?
Oh, let's go, Judge.
After it became known that you were placed under subpoena, did you get a call from Gabe Banks?
I did.
And was he trying to determine if you were going to be giving information in this case?
These niggas gonna get off too.
I can't. I don't know what he was trying to determine.
'Cause she's terrible.
He
She's
stated
trash.
That, it was an odd. I had not spoken to Gabe in a while. We are colleagues. We are
Right.
friends. We are.
Could you imagine
in the
moving Trump
same
DA?
fraternity, Gabe and I. And when he called, it was out of the blue. But he did call. Yes, ma'am.
The volume's not as
And
good.
you relayed
Oh, let
that
me
to me
check.
as well, correct?
Let me double check.
I did.
And then you also got a call.
All right, let me try the other one. Let me see. You right. You right. This one do got a little louder.
No, I got a call saying that he got a call.
I got a call. That he got a
A
call.
message that was supposed to be relayed to me. The call was.
I'm going to check if there's a hearsay.
This is crazy.
It's the response to the call for hearsay. Thus far, it hasn't.
So hearsay objection.
I don't think
That's
she
the
wants to
contents of
have
the
one.
call, Ms. Merchant.
I believe the contents of the call were to remember your privilege. I took that
Trump's
as a threat.
lawyer
I
is the
think
guy
Mr. Bradley
that
took
should
it
be
as a
doing
threat.
the questioning.
Testify to that.
Exactly.
He hasn't testified to it. And he also said there
This
wasn't any
isn't
message
criminal
relayed by
prosecution?
Mr. Wade or any party.
I know it's not. We know it's not criminal prosecution. She's just terrible. You didn't hear the judge tell her.
Hear something from a party.
Can we move this along?
Hearsay
Like, what are you
exception
getting
for
at?
that, Ms. Merchant?
I believe that it was a threat, so it's a statement against interest. I'm sorry, it's a if he took it as a threat to influence his testimony, then it's not hearsay, then it would be a
She is so trash.
So
I did not take it as a threat.
if you're saying it's to the effect on the listener, perhaps,
Yes.
then we'll go from there.
Were you told to remember your privilege?
Your Honor, the witness just testified he didn't take
Airing
this
this out to kill the Trump case? Oh, absolutely.
I'll overrule the objection. The testimony given the weight it deserves.
It's definitely a possibility.
Can you repeat the question?
Were you told to remember your privilege?
I was not.
A witness, there may be a potential witness now in the courtroom.
The moral of the story
This
is
person is referring to is sitting in the courtroom.
they do the dirty work of the
And I
Democrats
don't see any sequestration issues.
I don't know who it is. I don't know.
and then get put on a stand afterwards.
And so
That's
were
the
you told
that's
anything
what I
to
need
that effect was
everybody to
relevant?
see.
repeat the question one more time, but
You
so I
taking
was
Trump
not
to
told,
court. You the DA. You
remember
trying to
my
prosecute
privilege.
him
Something about privilege.
and think he ain't supposed to hit back. He gonna hit back.
I do recall privilege being mentioned, but it wasn't remember your privilege or, you know, a threat of any sort.
But you immediately called me after.
You know, I called someone else after.
You called me quickly thereafter then.
I talked to you that day, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Sit down.
She tried to gaslight him a little bit.
Because this is a defense witness, is it the state's first cross? I think that's how we had been doing it yesterday.
No, actually, we're doing it just this way.
Yeah, I've been.
Okay.
This is the first time he's gone, and then we go through all the defense, and then you'll have your chance.
They're partying in Belize like they got him already.
Some foundation questions to begin with, please. Your testimony is you began representing Mr. Wade as his attorney.
Now this the dude that know what he doing.
What date or what approximate date?
I didn't have an approximate date.
Okay. And give me an approximate date when you began acting as Mr. Wade's attorney.
He told her to sit her ass down. He had to. They had to stick the big dog on him.
I would say it was, you know, if I'm speculating.
I really don't want you to speculate. I mean, you're the one that was the attorney, and Mr. Wade was the client.
Correct.
So give us the ballpark figure of when it was that you began acting as his attorney.
Maybe 2017, 2018, I think, maybe.
And the purpose for which you were retained?
His divorce.
So, according to you, from that time period, your communications with Mr. Wade with regard to the divorce or any matters related to the divorce, it's your position are confidential, are privileged, correct?
He cutting right to the meat. Pause.
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, did you ever meet with Ms. Willis and Mr. Wade prior to, and everything I'm asking you is prior to November of 2021, okay? Keep that in mind. That's.
Why are you yelling?
I don't think he's yelling, Mr. Bradley.
He's definitely not yelling.
All right, let's sit down. Let's go.
He's definitely not yelling. I don't hear yelling.
Prior to.
It just feels like that because he up on the stand.
Contract with Fulton County, which was November 1st of 2021. Okay, just please keep that in mind.
November 1st of 2021.
Right. Did you ever socialize with Mr. Wade and Miss Willis prior to November 1st of 2021?
See? Isn't that what I said you supposed to ask? Did you ever see them together? Did you ever see them in bed together, nigga? See? Finally. Now we got him. See? She was wasting our time.
Socialized with Mr. Wade or Miss Willis in any setting. If you're asking, have I ever met with them, then I would say yes. But when you say socialize, what do you mean socialize?
Have you ever gone out to eat with both of them?
Before 2021, I do not
Or
think.
November 1st of 2021.
Out to eat with both of them before.
See? This the dude that know what he doing.
I'm sorry. When was she sworn in? There was a dinner before. When she was sworn in that I attended. Shaquille O'Neal was there, so it was like her inauguration dinner. So I'm thinking that's before 2021. So I would say yes.
Let's assume, for purposes of my question, that
Yes,
that's
sir.
in early January of 2021.
That is early January 2021. So yes, it will be before November. So if it was January, yes, that dinner would have been in. I'm assuming January.
Got him. Yeah.
And
Isn't that what I said, Chat? Thumbs up if you heard me say, have you ever been with him? Have you ever seen them together?
You know what socialized is.
Exactly.
Isn't that what I said to ask?
I did not socialize with Mr. Willis. With Miss Willis and Mr. Wade.
So prior to November 1st of 2021, did Miss Willis come to your offices? Your offices, I mean the offices that you shared with Mr. Wade.
I think she came once or twice to our office, correct?
And the purpose for which she came?
I don't know. We had separate offices.
Now we getting to it. Shit. That Karen was trash. Get her out of here.
Well,
I do recall some type of meeting.
Fucking wasting our time.
Office, and I don't know what that was about.
Marcus, I
wasn't a
appreciate
part of
you.
those meetings.
Renee, I appreciate you.
There were other people there.
Haran Life, appreciate you. All my cash appers, $ Hotep Jesus, I appreciate you.
Other people from the, I want to say DA's office there, maybe.
Okay, let's go back to the basics. Ms. Willis came to your offices, together offices, on a couple different occasions.
I recall Ms. Willis coming to my office at least twice.
Okay. And on at least one of those occasions, or you tell us, did Ms. Willis meet privately with Mr. Wade in his office that you observed or heard?
I can't recall.
You can't recall?
No.
Did she ever meet with you in your office? Ms. Willis now.
Privately in my office? No.
Okay.
I've never met privately in any office with her outside of signing this contract.
Did Mr. Wade, prior to November 1st of 2021, ever talk to you about socializing with Ms. Willis?
Uh-oh.
I can't recall.
You can't recall?
You can't
You're
recall?
asking me if he ever mentioned to me that he socialized
with Ms. Willis, correct?
And I'm saying I cannot recall if he socialized with Ms. Willis. If he ever
That's a
mentioned
good.
to
There
me
you
that
go,
he
brother.
socialized.
Stay strong.
Did he ever mention to you that he ate or went out to dinner with Ms. Willis?
Not that I can recall. Say it.
Come on.
Oh, he buckling. He buckling. See, I told you this dude know what he doing. This the one.
Repeat your question.
Mr. Wade ever tell you prior to November 1st of 2021 that he had socialized, gone out to eat, visited Ms. Willis in anything other than a professional setting?
I can't recall. Say it.
I'm sure he did, maybe.
Oh!
I don't recall any specifics of any dinners, any specific places. I mean, it's been 3 years ago, the time frame, but
that didn't
I
take
do not
long.
recall at this time whether or not he ever mentioned any dinners or socializing.
Did Mr. Wade mention to you that he visited Miss Willis at Miss Willis's then current abode?
I can't recall
which would have
saying
been, a place, not her original house, but a place she was staying in the period of 2021 before November 1 of 2021.
I can't
And
recall.
his question is, did Mr. Wade ever tell you that he visited Miss Willis at her house?
Did you see him at the cookout?
I don't think I can answer that.
Yeah, privilege based on communication with my client, but also based on hearsay.
Mr. State, if you want to try to rephrase the question, you can, but otherwise that would be consistent.
Loki said he got to stay off the ropes.
I didn't hear a second ground. What was the hearsay ground? That would be on privilege alone.
Did you talk to Mr. Wade at all about his relationship with Ms.
Word,
Willis
Jay.
prior to November 1st of 2021?
I think he's just laying a record, Mr. Wade. It's okay. And so on those same grounds, Mr. State Allen, all subsequent grounds, apparently the relationship with Ms. Willis.
I can't recall, nigga. I got a vaccine injury.
I think the key words, respectfully, are according to the statements. So I'm trying to drill down.
I'm dyslexic. I got ADD. I don't even know what tomorrow is, man. I'm not a good witness. Get me off the stand. I forgot to take my flow last week.
You're asking me to ask it as in a way of saying, are there any
Plead the
non-privileged?
4th, 5th, and 6th.
Did you ever communicate with Mr. Wade prior to November 1st of 2021 about Ms. Willis that was not privileged?
I can't recall.
This contract, but
This contract doesn't help. You have to give me a exhibit number, please.
you said before November 2021?
Yeah, November 1st of 2021.
Before November, this contract for 1/25/21 is before that. So I mean, we discussed this contract.
Okay.
They probably sent the girl in there to beat him up a little bit, wear him down,
Exhibit,
and then he come in and finish him off. That's probably their tactic.
One second. On Exhibit 23, did I understand you to say that it was Mr. Wade that effect brought you and Ms. Willis together for the contract?
that would be accurate, yes.
Okay.
I can't even see you right now.
What did you understand was a relationship at that point between Ms. Willis and Mr. Wade for Mr. Wade to be able to bring you to Ms. Willis for the contract?
I'm dyslexic, autistic, and disabled, Your Honor.
Not a hard question.
Oh, man.
Just say that again.
Mr. Wade is the one that basically says to you, go see Ms. Willis about this contract, right? That's a yes, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
So Mr. Wade had to have some knowledge, you would assume,
Yes.
right? That you going to Ms. Willis might bring you the contract,
I
right?
never went to Miss Willis.
That's what happened when you fucking with them
I
bodies.
stated I never went to Miss Willis. I was told about that there was a potential contract, and that I was asked by Mr. Wade if I would be interested in doing that contract.
And my question to you is, what was the basis that you understood Mr. Wade being able to essentially offer you that contract on Ms. Willis's behalf?
I object to that. That's a mischaracterization. Mr. Wade offered it to him. I think he said he expressed interest. And also, I don't see the relevance.
They said Charlie Horse at the finish line over on Rumble.
So just in terms of relevance or phrasing, I'll overrule on those grounds. So the question is standing unobjected to, Mr. Bradley.
Can you repeat the question?
You've explained to us how the contract.
Yes.
So now, all right. So he's taking them backwards now.
My question is, what was your understanding of the relationship of Mr. Wade and Ms. Willis for it to have been offered, or whatever word you want to use, for him to have said, expressed to you whether you had an interest in the contract?
Privilege.
All right. Mr. Evans is no privilege in my question, so Mr. Sadal, I think you need to clarify whether.
Was it a privileged conversation that you had with Mr. Wade that let you
I can't recall.
know about the contract?
I can't recall.
Or no, it was the relationship was the question you're focused on.
Is the nature... No, I'm trying to do it in such a way, and I understand what the court said. Was the relationship that I asked you about just now between Mr. Wade and Ms. Willis that gave rise to the contract, did you know about that relationship as a result of an attorney-client communication?
No, I knew of that through whatever work they did together as municipal court judges.
And how did you know that? Who told you about the work that they did together as municipal court judges?
Mr. Wade told me that they did work at some conference.
Okay, now, this would have been something that Mr. Wade said, according to your time period, at the time that you were representing Mr. Wade, correct?
Oh, Lord.
Say that again? Absolutely.
Mr. Wade would have told you what you just told the court after you had established an attorney-client relationship with Mr. Wade, correct?
This is why you don't mess with the Democrats.
Yes, but when he told me of them being at a conference, I mean, I'm not understanding how relate. I'm trying to understand your question.
Well, my question is basically, You
It's a
had
hard question to
communications
understand.
with Mr. Wade directly that
Yes.
were not attorney-client privilege, right?
I've had conversations with Mr. Wade that were not attorney-client privilege, yes.
That involved
Privilege.
Ms. Willis, correct?
I just stated that they were at a conference. I don't know whether or not that involved her or not.
Well,
Stay
if he's
strong,
talking
brother.
About her, that is, if Mr.
Stay
Wade
strong.
is telling you about Ms. Willis and Mr. Wade having met at a conference, right? Then he's talking about
Yep.
Ms. Willis, correct?
Yes, but he also told me about other people that he met at the conference.
But he told you about Ms. Willis as well, correct?
I think so, yes.
Okay. So there were communications in which Ms. Willis was at least a topic that was not covered by attorney-client privilege, correct?
This particular instance, I was told about a conference. And
when were you told this?
I can't remember the dates of the conference, but it was after. It would have been after the conference.
Okay, I'm trying to get just the time period here. After the conference, I want you to understand from the record, I believe we've shown that the conference was sometime in October of 2019. Okay? So could you give us an idea, that being a fact, when you would have had this communication about meeting with Ms. Willis at the that is, Mr. Wade meeting Ms. Willis at the conference?
If that's the conference that they were at, yes, then I don't know how many municipal court conferences there are. I do know that at the time that I was in the firm, Mr. Wade was he had some position with the municipal court.
Yeah, right now my only question is time-wise, assuming it's October of 2019, when do you tend to remember? What's your best recollection of when Mr. Wade told you about?
I can't remember because I didn't even remember those.
Ghosty seems like a kid in trouble.
Until you said that.
So you don't have a present recollection?
I do not remember that, no.
Had to be before the contract, though, in January of 2021, correct?
That they met?
No, that you were told about Mr. Wade and Ms. Willis meeting at the conference had to be before.
Oh, yeah, yes, it would have been before that, yes.
So, what other communications did you have with Mr. Wade about Ms. Willis that are not privileged? We know there's one about the meeting at the conference.
You know you done fucked
Are you
up, right?
suggesting that that's the only one you ever had about Ms. Willis that isn't?
I cannot recall any.
There you go. I cannot recall.
I cannot recall.
There you
cannot
go.
recall whether there were any other communications that weren't privileged?
I cannot recall. Cannot recall. Say it. Say it. Nigga.
No.
Okay.
I'll be specific, and I understand there's probably going to be objections, but I want the record to reflect.
I have CTE, sir.
Did you have a conversation with Mr. Wade prior to November 1st of 2021 about Mr. Wade dating Ms. Willis?
Mr. Wade has risen. An objection is sustained for the record.
Rudy said, did Wade ever tell you about the birthmark on Fanny's ass?
Well, I understand it's been objected to and the court has sustained the objection. Can you tell us the circumstances in which, that is, under which Mr. Wade may have told you about dating? What I want to do is try to figure out if we can, you tell me if you want me, if I can do this. I'd like to know how the communications themselves took place. Where they took place, how they took place, under what circumstance.
I can't recall.
At the time, providing advice or seeking advice.
See, I can't recall.
Those are the basics. If I can ask as to all those, but if the court's going to sustain the objection to those, then I don't want to waste your time.
And that's something I'll cover in camera. So I'll note the question and your question for the record, and I'll sustain the privilege objection to that.
Okay. All of this prior to November 1st, 2021. Okay? I'm going to show you two text messages. I don't have hard copy.
The summary analysis. You already know. The Senator Loki, $20 super. Lesson for today? I can't recall. Just say it. Say it. Just say I can't recall. That's all you have to say. Now they got to go back to the table and do what they do. There's many different levels to this. Just this event alone, right? Just the fact that this is the headline. This is the story. At a time when, as we said, black folks going to the back of the bus. At a time when the Republicans and the Democrats are putting black people in the back of the bus, they put this on your screen. Assassination of your character. Is this Fani Williams' ass right here? Did you know she had an OnlyFans?
Look at this text message.
They got their text messages? Damn. Bro.
Of course, of course.
Look how you looking at him. This is not a good look. This is not a good look. What's up, Brazilian wax fresh? Lauren, you stupid. Bad body language. Can you recall now? Nope, I can't recall. I can't recall.
Then you must be a soothsayer. Mr. Bradley, I showed you 2 text messages, correct? Both of those text messages occurred on January the 5th of 2024 at approximately 11:56 a.m. Am I correct?
I think so, yes.
Okay. And the text messages would have been between you and Miss Merchant, correct?
I didn't see it. Yes, it should be.
Okay. And I've shown the same 2 to prosecution, so we're talking about the same 2. In the text message to Miss Merchant, you indicated knowledge of some activity on the part of Mr. Wade, correct?
Uh-oh.
I haven't asked him anything about what the...
Flag for the court that this is a topic and a specific exchange that Ms. Merchant went into, and there were objections that were sustained.
All right, understood.
Yes. And it's your testimony that the information that you imparted to Ms. Merchant in these 2 text messages is based entirely on confidential communications between you and Mr. Wade, correct?
Objection. He's referencing specific knowledge. The specific knowledge comes from Mr. Wade, which is we've already established as privilege.
Well, another question. He didn't get into anything. He just said, are these 2 text messages about privileged communications? We haven't actually... I don't see an issue there.
Yes.
And is it your testimony that the knowledge that you have, which you imparted in these 2 text messages, came from Mr. Wade and Mr. Wade alone?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us when it was that Mr. Wade imparted this information to you?
Objection.
All right. And I think that...
That's what you're going to do.
Sure. So I'll sustain that on privilege.
And I'm going to introduce for the record, when we finish, these 2 text messages so that Your Honor has those back there so that you can...
Sure. What would they be marked as?
What do you have?
I have a whole set. Okay. We don't have to
This is nasty work. This is nasty work by the Democrats.
Once I put a staple in it, I think it'll be...
This is nasty work.
26. Give me a real pen.
What did we say? What did we say?
All right, so this is marked and...
We said
on the record is defense exhibit.
they are going to go down.
This is not admitted 26. This is for purposes of the court conducting the...
For the Democrats.
And put a staple in it if you make sure that you see it.
How many times do we want them? Jackie said he probably told Wade to stay away from Fanny from the beginning. Uh-oh.
All right, Ms. Sadell.
Uh-oh.
All right, so there was also reference, if I remember correctly, to some email correspondence in which Ms.
Here we go. Now they in the emails.
sent you the
Lord
motion that she was going to file to
This
disqualify
is nasty work.
Ms. Willis and Mr. Wade for your review. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And that was sent to you in an email?
That was correct.
And did you respond to it in an email?
I don't think I responded to her in email.
Ashley, do we know?
He responded by text.
He responded by text. I'm sorry, I mischaracterized it. He responded by text?
If I can look at my text, I can, but I'm assuming I did, but.
Okay, I'm going to get it for you because I don't want there to be any assumption. Let me forget. Let me show you. This is the Here's I don't have anything besides just damage.
You know what I'm saying? While these niggas was over here working for the Democrats, this is what we was doing. This I'm gonna show you the contrast.
What do you think about the indictments?
Oh, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's going around the country. You know, Fani Willis, she went to school with my sister. She's full of shit. She was full of shit then. So she's a puppet for the white liberal that is controlling everything. She's in front, but the white liberal back there pulling those strings, telling her what to do.
What do you think about the indictments?
Okay.
I see it.
Okay. And they was calling us coons. Now look at them now.
Along with it, obviously.
Look at them now.
Which is referenced.
Look at them now.
And then
We might be coons, but we ain't on trial.
to that email within the text message
Huh?
that I just placed before you.
This the contrast I'm trying to give y'all.
Yes, I said looks good.
The answer is yes.
Oh, yes.
Niggas for Trump.
Then we'll mark this as
Retro Neon said, not gonna lie, he looks like Mr. Brown from the Medea movies. That's fucked up. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. I just don't like how Cash was on trial. I don't like that.
Okay, I'm going to have these marked as 27. Okay? All right, so is it your position that what is reflected, let me hand it to you. Okay. What's the court's rule? To ask him not to answer.
We'll take it case by case. I think he's doing all right, so we need to ask for this witness.
Is it your position that your response, which is the second page of Defense Exhibit 27, is based on a confidential or confidential communications that you had with Mr. Wade?
Can't recall.
Do you want me to read the response?
No, I'm only asking you whether or not the response, you actually already said what it said. I don't want you to read it again. Is that response, based on confidential communications that you had with Mr. Wade?
Objection, this is privileged and cumulative.
All right, so now we're talking about the email, potentially referencing the motion as a whole. He hasn't been asked to actually confirm or deny any specifics, just to say whether his response is privileged. So I think we're just laying the foundation, just like we did with the text message. So you can answer that question, sir.
Was my response privileged?
No. Was your response to the email of Ms. Merchant, which is on page 1 of that exhibit, is your response, which is on page 2, is that based on knowledge that you received from Mr. Wade pursuant to confidential communications?
Yes.
you discussed with the district attorney's office this case, or your purported testimony?
Of my testimony?
Yes.
No.
At all?
No.
No prep, no conversations, no nothing?
No.
Have you given your attorneys, for this matter, did you give them permission to speak with the district attorney's office?
Well, he can assert his own privilege, but that's kind of crazy.
Is there a objection to be heard?
Absolutely, this is privilege.
Okay, sustained. Stay down. Next question.
Do you know whether or not your attorneys shared privileged information with the district attorney's office?
No, I don't know what my attorneys shared or didn't share. I don't know if they even met.
Have you, last question, have you spoken to Mr. Wade prior to today? No, actually, withdraw. You're no longer in the same partnership or fee-sharing arrangement with Mr. Wade, correct?
That's correct.
When did you leave that fee-sharing partnership, pseudo-partnership arrangement?
I don't remember the hard date, but maybe sometime like July, August of 2022, I think.
Okay. And what was the reason for the partnership or the fee-sharing arrangements? What caused the separation?
I wanted to leave and go out on my own.
And that's the only reason?
I wanted to leave and go out on my own, yes.
I understand, but that was the only reason. There wasn't any suggestions or allegations of any form of misconduct on either part, either on your part or Mr. Wade's part, correct?
Misconduct of what?
I'm trying not to get into the specifics. Was there any allegations made of suspected misconduct on your part or on Mr. Wade's part? That's a fairly simple question. Did he accuse you of doing anything? Did you accuse him of doing anything? Without getting into what it is, were there any accusations made by you or him against each other?
Uh-oh.
We had a disagreement, yes.
And did that disagreement have anything to do with Miss Willis?
Oh, no.
Okay. Did it have anything to do with your conduct?
No.
Did it have anything to do with his conduct?
Hold on, wait. So we had a disagreement. Whether the disagreement was... We disagreed. And so we dissolved, I left the firm.
All right. And was the disagreement having anything to do with alleged or supposed misconduct by either one of you?
If you define misconduct, I'm telling you we had a disagreement and we...
Just tell me what the disagreement was then.
We're going to go to Patriot J in about 15 minutes here.
To know, I don't see the relevance of the disagreement that I had. It had nothing to do with this Trump case or any other case.
I'm simply getting a question asked, what was the disagreement? It's not privileged, correct?
No, that is privileged.
Oh, it is privileged. Why is that privileged?
Because it's privileged. I can tell the court in camera, but it was privileged.
Ask a few questions further to see if this is actually something that does fall within that privilege. We can take it from there.
Did it have anything to do with you representing Mr. Wade in any capacity? Excuse me.
It would fall in that line, yes.
But your testimony is that it has nothing to do with your representation of Mr. Wade in connection with Miss Willis.
As a connection to Miss Willis, that's correct.
It's connected to the matter for which you were hired by Mr. Wade?
I wasn't hired by Mr. Wade.
I thought you were the attorney representing him in the divorce.
Oh, I apologize. I thought you were saying something else. Oh, yes.
Uh-oh.
So will it apply as to...
Lord Jesus.
Whether I was hired during the divorce? Yes, that's correct.
I'm not sure what this correct means under that. You kind of got lost on it.
Yes, the question.
It did or did not relate to your representation?
It did relate to my representation.
In the marriage case?
It does.
And this was whose decision at that point, did you stop representing Mr. Wade?
It wasn't at that point, no.
Was it before that?
No, it was after that.
Okay. And how much longer did you represent Mr. Wade in the divorce action?
I went to see the divorce proceeding to see Mr. Wade. I represented Mr. Wade for a time after that. He represented me in a construction case for a time after that. And I'll have to look at the filings. I ended up hiring new counsel for my construction case. He ended up, but it wasn't right at that moment. It wasn't in a matter of weeks. It was.
So you continued representing him in connection with the divorce case after you had the separation that you've made reference to?
And he continued to, yes, and he continued to represent me on the construction case.
But the separation, at least in part, if I heard you correctly, and please tell me if I'm wrong, had something to do with your representation of him in the divorce case.
That is correct.
Okay. Now, Mr. Wade has testified that he did not have a relationship, a personal relationship, a romantic relationship with Ms. Willis until sometime early 2022. Okay? I'm leaving that as the premise for what I'm about to ask you. Do you possess information that counters that, that's inconsistent with that?
Any information Mr. Bradley has would be privileged, Your Honor.
Okay, let's say no. I think we.
Would such information be privileged in your mind?
I think this has already been asked during Ms. Merchant's direct, so we're covering the same ground. So I'll sustain that.
So I can't get an answer to whether he possesses information which is inconsistent without getting into the information itself.
I think the issue would be that we've already gotten an answer on that. And now we're asking the same question again. Ms. Merchant asked a variation of that, and he already answered.
I think the variation, Your Honor, is referencing whether or not he had what would be personal information, independent source information. Mine is not so limited. Mine is, I'm asking him point blank whether or not he has information from whatever source, including Mr. Wade, that is inconsistent with Mr. Wade's testimony.
Because if it includes Mr. Wade, it is privileged communication. So therefore, the answer is it's privileged. If it excluded Mr. Wade, that would be a different appropriate question.
And I just want to say, the answer is either it came from privileged information or it's hearsay. That's it. He's already testified that he has no personal knowledge.
Unless it's for impeachment at this point. But Mr. Seda, I think that might be too fine a distinction for me to see the need for the question. I think I'm failing to see the difference.
Well, I'm not asking, respectfully, I'm not asking you to see the difference. I'm asking whether I can ask that question and elicit a response which doesn't elicit the actual communications, which is what I'm attempting to do. And if Your Honor says I can't, then I'm finished.
And I think that this was another aspect of what came up before, which is, in my mind, even confirming the existence of the information goes into privileged communications, whether he does or does not possess information. If it came from that relationship, that's part of the privilege as well. So if I make that clear, then
so you're sustaining what the objection would be.
That's right. It'd be sustained on privilege.
And of course, all the questions that we're talking about as far as the foundation about when things are said and what is said, you're going to go into, if I understood correctly, ex parte in camera with the two exhibits we talked about.
That's right. My intent would be to make a record of the...
K. Thomas said on Twitter, Fani Willis got played by the Biden administration. She could save herself by calling this out, but she won't.
Oh, this is a real Hotep brother.
Exactly.
My question before I sit down.
Exactly.
Is, if hypothetically, you learn through this in-camera ex parte examination that the information that this gentleman has through the attorney-client privilege is in fact inconsistent with what Mr. Wade testified to under oath, then the court is going to then make a determination of whether it can be used here or whether it just remains in the record sealed.
So my intent would be to make the distinction of, from the in-camera hearing, If I still determine that everything is covered by privilege, then anything else that is said cannot go into the factual determinations or credible determinations that need to be made. And so just the issue of whether the privilege did or did not exist is preserved.
Yeah. So, again, just to follow through to make sure. So, if the court knows that there's been a fraud upon the court through the lie of Mr. Wade, none of us are going to know that that in fact occurred, and the court's going to be in a position of making a determination on the motion, even though the court knows that it doesn't have all the information, truthful information.
I'll take a closer look at the case law you provided to see if that is actually a variation of the crime fraud exception, and I'll apply the crime fraud exception as I see it.
Right. And again, I'm not suggesting it is
Latoya Carnell, Lloyd Lightfoot
from crime fraud. It has no.
This is Curtis School, Latoya Carnell, Lloyd Lightfoot, Keisha Lance Bottom, Fani Willis, Claudine Gay, etc. All the mother of all buffoons. Tiffany Henyard and Dalton. What does that say? Dalton 3 are setting black women back decades. It's going to be so rough for anyone to trust black women with authority again. They're the fall. They're the fall guys. Cat's paw. It's the cat's paw. Isn't that what they call it? Let me see. Cat's paw, a light air that ruffles surface in regular patches. One used by another as a tool. One used by another as a tool. Cat's paw. Right there. See it? Shit crazy.
Mr. Bradley,
Then they got.
you were counsel for Mr. Wade in the divorce case when the interrogatories
We're gonna call
served on a post.
We're gonna call Patriot J in a minute. He's an attorney. He's a defense attorney. And he's gonna give us, well, you know, basically I'm gonna interrogate him and try to get him to tell me, you know, what exactly is going on here. So I can understand it. Because I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I wanna know the truth. And I wanna know. I just wanna know.
At any point during the
So I
course
could
of
really,
proceedings,
really
was
dissect
a pleading
this.
filed with the court or a paper served on opposing counsel that purported to have your signature that you were not the one that signed or authorized your signature on it?
Say that again?
Did anyone sign your signature without your authorization on any pleading?
We got a couple of things to show you
or
too.
any
I got a
other
couple of
paperwork
things to
served
show
on
you.
opposing counsel in the
I got a
divorce
couple of
proceedings?
things to show you.
I don't think so. If
I told you we got
have
Haram
the
Life made the
documents, I can
Grift Report
authenticate
today.
my signature.
And you have
Interesting
testified
phenomena
you also
unfolding on the
practice criminal law
timeline. Hold
and
on.
divorce law and perhaps other types
Where's
of law
the
as
other
well.
one?
That's
Not
correct.
that one.
And are you aware that OCG 16-6-19 defines adultery as a misdemeanor crime in the state of Georgia?
If you say so, yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. Judge, I would ask the court to take judicial notice of that.
For what relevance?
Where's the other one?
Judge, I think it does go directly to the crime fraud exception. Because before we draw objection, because
There
if
it
Mr.
is.
Wade was providing information to him, to his counsel about his intent
And then we
to
got
either commit adultery or that he was
Goldstein's
committing
video
adultery,
too.
then that would be a misdemeanor crime.
Let's
that
pull
would
this
have
up
been
and
crime
get
fraud
ready to call
exception. And
Patriot J.
additionally, as we know from yesterday's evidence,
Get ready to call Patriot J.
There. Isn't adultery,
Hold on a second. Let me see
as a statute just on its face, been found unconstitutional? You can't actually charge anyone with adultery anymore.
it is still current in the
Then it
state.
can't be a crime.
It's still a current charge.
Let's move on to that next argument.
Additionally, Judge, with regard to the interrogatories, we have 3 different sets of interrogatories that were filed that came into evidence yesterday, 21, May of 23, December of 23, that contain false information. We also have the January of 24.
All right. So by now, you should have all figured out that this is all theater. It's all theater. As you can see, the judge is irritated because they're doing this line of questioning and not much is coming of it. You dig me? Hold on, let me put Patriot J's number in here so we can get ready to call him. Hold on. All right, here we go. Uh-huh. All right.
Yo,
Yo.
what's up, man?
What you out there saving lives?
I am, in fact. I just got a nigga probation on a gun charge, and I'm about to drive to another courthouse in the afternoon to hopefully save a white lady.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. See? Out here doing the Lord's work. I love to see it. I love to see it.
I'm trying.
We got the Fani Willis show on.
Yep. I saw you giving her props yesterday.
I was giving her what?
You were giving her props yesterday?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. I thought she did phenomenal. For being one of those, they got white Karens. She's like a black Karen.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? She's a Shaniqua.
That's true, yes. She's really just up there standing on her business, to use the overused term. Like, that's exactly what she did.
Yeah.
She said, so what?
Right. She stood on business. Now, she's definitely, a irresponsible sneaky link, but what is this case? What is this case? I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is to see if she's even fit to prosecute on this thing, right? On Trump's trial.
Yeah, essentially. So I was pretty out the loop yesterday. Honestly, I've been out the loop on like all the politics since I stopped writing for Breitbart.
Okay.
But in advance of today's conversation, I went to Breitbart and I read a couple articles. Shout out to my colleagues over there.
Okay.
So Fani Willis is the DA in the Georgia Trump case.
Right.
And one of the lead prosecutors is apparently her nigga.
Right.
And so one of Trump's co-defendants filed some sort of motion to disqualify Fani from being in charge of the entire prosecution against him because of the appearance of impropriety between her having a relationship with the lead prosecutor on the case. And I believe at first, I remember I saw Trump like post on Truth about some shit. Like, he said something about her fucking the prosecutor, and I thought he was just being Trump, talking bullshit, because he does that sometimes. But she actually kind of went ahead and made that statement. I don't know if you remember, it might have been like a month ago. She did like a press conference at the black church talking about, they just attacked me because I'm a black woman. I ain't do shit.
Yeah.
And I believe it came out on the stand yesterday that she admitted to having the relationship with the prosecutor. And I think the whole reason why this blew open was because the prosecutor she was sleeping with was going through some divorce proceedings, and the former wife of the prosecutor wanted to have him testify about the relationship with Fani, and she wanted Fani to testify too. Ultimately, they settled that divorce thing, but I think that's how people became aware of the relationship, through his own divorce. And the irony is, I was reading the prosecutor dude, he used to be a divorce attorney.
Wade.
Right.
Wade was a divorce attorney.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, the Trump co-defendant, and then I think Trump joined the motion as well. They're basically saying, Fani's fucking the prosecutor. This is obviously some sort of collusion to remove herself. So I think right now what the judge is trying to figure out is if there is enough evidence to remove her from the prosecution, which of course would be a big win for Donald Trump. He can say, see, I got the prosecutor out. If he's a liar, throw this whole case out.
Right. So what kind of evidence do they need? Like, are you not allowed to fuck the prosecutor?
I mean, I'm not 100% certain about ethics laws in Georgia, but if it's anything similar to California, there's no rules against, people in the same office sleeping with each other. Like, generally the rules for sex with people only comes to play with like clients. Like in California, you're not allowed to start a sexual relationship with a client that you just had. But I mean, it's pretty much just like office politics. Like, of course, I'm sure they work together a lot. That's like people talk about having a work husband, a work wife. I'm sure it started off as just one of those things.
Yep.
And then it kind of actually got serious. So I don't think there's anything unlawful or even unethical about it. But because she's the lead prosecutor trying to throw the former president in jail, he's got to appear to be objective and unbiased. So if there's even just the slight appearance that she's maybe colluding or has a bias against the person she's trying to throw out, the judge can then say, you know what, we're going to have her be removed from this case.
Oh, she has to be neutral.
Exactly.
To preside over the case.
I mean,
oh, so the district
right,
attorney's almost acting like a judge.
But essentially, yeah, they can't come out and be vindictive, have some vendetta against the person. They're only supposed to charge people with crimes if there are actually crimes there. And then I just thought of another thing. I think another reason why Fani is in this scandal is because the former person who was the Fulton County DA before her had like sex with one of his subordinates. So her whole campaign was like, yeah, the people of Georgia need a DA who's not going to fuck their subordinates. And then here she is.
Oh, shit. Word? Oh,
yep.
wow.
So it gets a little deep.
Oh, man, that's insane. Oh, man. From what you telling me, I feel like they got enough. I feel like they got enough, man.
Right. I think so, too, because you don't need a lot for these types of situations.
Yeah.
I'm so, Democrats and said, I think they can get away with anything. But the fact that another judge is ruling on it makes me a bit more, or a bit less concerned, because I figure judges are a lot more neutral than like a jury of 12 people would be.
Yeah.
But you never know what type of backdoor connections they got.
Right. Yeah, people always got some backdoor. Yeah. Damn. That's crazy. Yeah, she's guilty as charged. It's very obvious they was, because she admitted, yeah, we was going trips. Yep, I went there. I gave him some cash. They had a relationship.
Right. And then I think one of the things was they were at first denying the relationship, and then they were, I think the biggest thing that they're looking for is when the relationship started, because if it started before the Trump prosecution, that's when things get a little shaky, because then you can say, oh, they were linking up and maybe they were planning this. If it just so happened that after they started working together on the Trump thing, they got close, then that's a different story. But I believe there was somebody who knew both of them, and they were about to say that they have had the relationship since 2019, well before all of this stuff. So it's looking ugly for Fani.
That's why he's asking him about that November date, because that's when the trial starts.
Exactly.
That makes sense. Damn. Yeah, if I was the judge, man, I'd be like, listen, man, I'm kind of hungry. Obviously y'all was fucking. You're not fit to do the trial. We out of here. We throwing this out. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't even want to waste my own time.
And exactly. And it's not like that would, throw out the case against Trump. It would just give Trump some ammo. But the judge, I think, can sleep well at night knowing I'm about to disqualify her and the entire proceedings will still kind of play out.
Yeah. So what happens after this? Let's say they say she's unfit. Does that exonerate Trump, or he has to file for a motion to dismiss?
Necessarily. It might kind of exonerate him in the streets almost, in the sense where he can run around and brag about the fact that the prosecutor got disqualified because he was out here hoeing.
Yeah.
But legally, it wouldn't suspend the proceedings immediately.
Right.
They might have to look into filing some motions to dismiss, but the actuality of what will probably happen is that it would just get kicked down to Fani Willis as number 2. I'm sure she's got a deputy DA, and that would be the main person overseeing it.
Okay. And then the trial would resume?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I'm sure Trump wants to kick the trial out as far as possible.
Right.
As he does with all of the cases that he's facing right now.
And this is definitely going to get delayed, because if you bring a new DA in, you basically got to start all over.
Right. You got to bring them up to speed. They're going to have to get caught up on everything that Fani was doing.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Damn. All right, man. I appreciate you. Great info, bro.
Yep. Keep on at it.
Yes, sir. Hotep and Bill. That's Patriot J, y'all. Motherfucking Patriot J. Man. Is everything clear now? It's clear for me. I feel very clear. Let's start to bring some things up on your screen here. First of all, let's start here. Let's start right here. And wokeness. Fani Willis wore her dress backwards and her American flag pinned sideways. And then what happens? Gets smacked with the community notes. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying about the op. You got to be careful of the op, because the op will distract you. So instead of everybody staying focused and mature, here they are getting community notice. Because I know everybody talking about her dress. I'm like, damn, y'all that easily distracted? Her dress? Really? Her dress? And come to find out they got community noted. Absolutely ridiculous. I just need the conservatives to just stay focused for half a minute. I told you Haram Life was going to make this show today. We're going to go to that right now. And so and Wokeness posted this tweet that said, Mayor Brandon Johnson just defunded a gunshot detection technology because activists accuse it of racism. This is what Chicago is replacing it with. Investments in people, moving away from policing, hope that some future technology discovered that solves mental illness. And then you got all the red bots. And he says, the right confused me. So what do we want? The right confuses me. So what do we want? Minority Report technology or not? And he's right. It's you see it's gunshot detection technology, and you're mad that he's removing this because of Chicago. What? What? What are we doing? No, this is Big Brother technology. This is the stuff they use for gun grabbing. This is the whole gun legislation. You got decreased gun legislation and you're upset. It's like this other tweet I'm about to show you. Let's put this on your screen. So Nikki posts this, right? And this post here is Chicago mayor touts program where black-owned businesses were given $17 million to feed illegal aliens. White-owned businesses did not qualify for the program. And these people are talking about found the racist. Found the racist. And Nikki says black and white people are mad at this for two completely different reasons. Black people want tax dollars to go to American citizens, but apparently white people want public funding to feed illegal aliens. He's calling it racist, and it's not even racist. This is illegal immigration. You should have said, found the human trafficker. That's what Cat Turd should have said. Found the human trafficker. But they're concerned with race. And she's right. Black people are like, what? You giving us money to feed illegals? Why don't you give us money to feed ourselves?
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
What are we really doing? What are we really doing? Insane. Then we have ABL has made the Grift Report. I actually had an interaction with a positive interaction with ABL today. So that's Susan's responding to the whole Fani Willis thing. And let's go to the clip just so we can hear the contrast. So here's Fani Willis. All right, hold on.
And then he tells me how much it is, and I give him the money back. I don't, just like you're asking me about the money with Robin, I don't do my friends like that. So if you tell me it's a G, then you're going to get $1,000. Whatever it is, I didn't ever make him produce receipts to me. Whatever he told me it was, I gave him the money back. Isn't it? And then he...
Right? So then he says Fanny might find this street ebonics useful when she's behind bars. When we get out of here, sister, we gonna hit a grocery store and get ourselves some G's, sure enough. Sure enough. So they went, you know, this is what the right was doing. They was doing a racist bit, I guess, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. I didn't hear that in her video though. I didn't hear that. I don't know. This shit is hilarious. So ABL says, I wish y'all would stop. I just wish y'all would stop. And again, Dinesh is so distracted. You talking about all the wrong shit. Oh, she's ghetto. Oh, she's this. Just lack of focus. You gotta. She took a trip with this dude. Let Trump go. Y'all talking about her dress, her way she talk. Forget all of that. Let's get to the cream of the crop. Let's get to the meat of this bone. Pause. Let's get to the center. Let's get to the core. What is that? The fact that she was taking trips with the prosecutor. That's a no-brainer. Done. Nah, they got to lay it on thick. And that's why I'm trying to tell y'all, in this election year, black folks going back to the bus, but it's also public lynching of our character. You've seen it all across the board, public lynching of our character. So where the left is doing it to the white man, the black man got to get some too. The black woman got to get some too. And you've seen it on the stands today with the Fani Willis trial. Looks like he's getting up now. So they finally done roasting his ass. Oh man, I know he doing bad. He probably can't even walk. You know, you caught him with Nathan Wade. She admitted to it. And the thing is that there's a lot of different levels to the trial because she's talking about cash and she says she has this stash of cash of 15 G's or whatever, right? And the concept behind that is very, very laissez-faire. It's very, Bitcoin sounding, right? Where, you're getting into anonymity of transactions. And I hate when they do the whole You know, who'd you give money to? Who'd you give money to? Who'd you give money to? None of your fucking business who I gave money to and why, right? And honestly, I don't think there's anything there. As far as the money stuff, no, I don't think it's any really. And I say that because not because there wasn't acts of nepotism. What I'm saying is that area, that area of the funding stuff, it's nebulous. It's, first of all, the range is so wide on what you can charge for security services. And then, you know, payback of expenses and reason for expenses. It could completely, this case could completely transform how we write off our taxes. Leave that shit alone. Don't let them start. Let's focus on the fact that she was a nasty little sneaky link, and that's enough to disqualify, because you don't need the money situation. All you need is the relationship, and that's why they was hammering that shit home today. But I think that this is an open and closed shut case. Where the judge is going to say she's not fit to handle the case, and that's just going to be that. I mean, there's no other way to really look at this. There's no other way to really look at this. So remember I told you about the op, right? Remember I told you about the op? Here, watch this. I'm gonna put the op right on your screen. I'm gonna put the op right on your screen. Look at this. Shout out to Donnie the Don. No. This is no shots at her. Shout out Jeff Charles. It's my peoples. There's no shots. But I just want to show y'all the control design in action. So what I said was this swing of the right wing, you know, doing their little racist bit or whatever they call it, right? Open season on niggas. Let me go to it. So he says here, did you know 70% of America is white? Then why were white dancers and performers so underrepresented at the halftime Super Bowl show? So basically he wants some white DEIs. This is the woke right. Seemed like all were black. So why do blacks get 100% of the bill and still crying about America being racist and reparations? So then he says, it's too black for me. That's what he says. It's too black for me. And Donnie says, another reason I will never vote Republican again. Bigots and tyrants. Hard pass. There it is. There it is. It's manifested. That's what the Lily White movement does. Never vote Republican again. So what do you think she's going to tell her children? And then what do you think her children are going to, what do you think her children are going to tell their children? And the sad part is this is probably a bot that she's responding to. Whoever this A. Rios guy is, it's probably not even a real person. He looked Hispanic. This is probably like some troll account. I don't know. And it still works. And it still works. It still works. That's why you got to be careful. That's why you be careful. Wow, it just went all over the place. It's the blame culture. Hotep Jesus. No accountability class. This is what they produce. Mr. Brown out here struggling, says Retro Neon. Oh my God. Rudy the Vet, thank you for the $9.99 super. Said these clowns in Georgia learned nothing from Hillary. You're supposed to smash all devices, bleach bit all servers, and say it was an accident. Duh, silly lawyers, and learned nothing. Only Hillary getting away with that shit. They would have roofed these niggas if they'd have did that shit. Oh, man. Troublemaker Jonah, he also filed divorce immediately after the contract tripled his colleagues. She is profiting off trial. Oh, man. Oh, she's also profiting. The Senate Loki 10 gifted memberships. Shout out to Loki. Appreciate you, bro. Absolutely appreciate you. It's ugly. It's election season. Everybody's acting messy. Now let's get back to another thing I was talking to y'all about before. Hold on. I'm sorry that the whole show got delayed today, but y'all needed to see, because before we got on here, I'm listening to this nigga. I'm like, yo, this nigga got shaky legs on the stand. And I'm like, nah, I need y'all to burn that image of his shaky legs on the stand. I need y'all to see that. Let's go to this video by Goldstein. He's going to hammer home a point I was making earlier. Let's go.
On the 16th day in the 3rd month of the 2024th year of our Lord, the Lord, I am here to inform you all that there's not one single aspect of the WEF's plan for global domination that the right wing wouldn't gladly accept if they were to firmly place in the center of that motherfucking plan a nigga, or an illegal, or a tranny, or whatever the fucking case may be, whatever the boogeyman is that month. If they were to place that motherfucker in the middle of their plan, the right wing would say not only yes, but hell yes to whatever harebrained ass idea they came up with to incarcerate their ass. They would do it. And you know they would do it. And here's an example of how that would look. Right here in Arizona is the first 15-minute city. They call it the cul-de-sac, which, by the way, is French for the dead end, but I digress. They call it the cul-de-sac, and if that motherfucking place decided, you know what, in order to move in here, you have to prove citizenship, the right wing would be right there. Yes. Ding. And don't let them start making cities where they're like, well, you know what? Not only do you have to prove citizenship to move in this motherfucker, but we can also bill it as a place where your children won't get beat up. Ding. We could also bill it as a place where you wouldn't have to worry about any terror attacks. Ding. They're right there. Right? All the shit that they want the U.S. government to enforce, if a fucking private corporation were to build a community and enforce it for the U.S. government, because they have a slick way around constitutional restraints. If they were to do that, every motherfucker in the right wing would be right there. Where do I sign? Do you want to move in this community where you don't have to worry about fentanyl? Yes. But you didn't even read the fine print? Yes. Where do I sign? But you do know that you're only going to be yes. That's how that would look. So don't lie to yourselves and don't lie to nobody else. The bullshit's coming. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Let's go right here. Let's go right here. Let's put this on your screen. Bryson Gray says, my favorite thing about Elon unbanning people and giving a little bit more free speech is everyone showing their true colors. For a while, I was actually convinced that the right was different than the left. Oof.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Correct. When the grass is cut, the snakes will show. Got to thank the homie Nas for that, though. Yeah. There it is. There it is. It's unbelievable. Biggie Smalls is the illest. Hold on, let me get my screens together. Here we go. Let me get my screens together. We're going to go to the phone lines. Text Hotep your name to 202-596-5631. And we're going to go to the phone lines for a little bit. I'll be right back after this short, brief commercial break.
Envision a sanctuary where community and sustainability are the cornerstones of living.
In this haven, every family is able to grow their own food, children flourish through homeschooling tailored to unlock their full potential, and education extends beyond textbooks, instilling self-worth and a deep understanding of the world around them. Here, goodwill isn't just an ideal, it's the essence of daily life, where respect for law and order harmonizes with the community's resourcefulness. This place isn't just a dream, it's a call to action for everyone who believes in a better, more connected way of living. Join us in building a future where each individual's contributions create a tapestry of enduring harmony and prosperity. Join us in Hotepistan.
How's your Friday, man?
We live. Yo, what up, man?
What's going on, brother? How you doing, dude?
Good. What's going on, y'all?
Happy Hotep Friday, man.
Happy Hotep Friday. We made it.
Enjoy your weekend, brother. Enjoy your weekend.
I'm gonna try my best.
Hey, so you know Bongino, right? Dan Bongino, right?
Yeah.
He's one of the last mainstream conservatives that ain't bought into all the identity politics shit. So
okay.
I still give him a listen every now and then. Now, I don't know which one it was, man. I'm gonna find it and try to send it to you. But this motherfucker broke down. So, you know how Fani got 3 of the fucking Trump associates to cop deuces on this bullshit ass charge, right? All of them pled down to lesser shit. So this shit cannot get thrown out, right?
Okay.
It's going to a lower prosecutor.
Okay.
But they got a federal grant. They got a federal grant in Atlanta. This is This is what the problem is, man. Everybody's like, oh, I mean, you're like, hey, man, she gave money, and I respect that. But the problem is they got a federal grant from the DOJ to go forth with this prosecution and basically ran around and played with all the fucking money.
Yeah.
Okay. And he breaks down. He goes deep into the history of Wade. Man, Wade has never in his life prosecuted a criminal case, dude. He was a divorce lawyer and a part-time traffic judge, dude.
What?
So yes, dog.
So
yes,
she might
dog.
be
Like,
coaching him through it.
Dog. It just goes to show that dude was throwing dick in her back long before they're claiming that he was throwing dick in her back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When she was up there, I was watching Cannon last night, and she was up there talking about, well, I met him at a conference in 2019. He's been dicking her down since 2019, dude.
Okay.
And what she did was she took that federal grant money, hired his ass, paid him $650,000 out of that federal grant money. And then they basically, you know what I'm saying, ran around partying on the federal dollars, man. And it's not, like you said, it's not nothing new. It's not nothing that any white Republican, any white Democrat, any black Republican, any black Democrat, and it's the same shit that goes on with DC, man. It's not like because they're black, you know, they're doing something different. No, this shit goes on all the fucking time, dude.
Yeah.
But the fact that like Bongino breaks it down, dog. He had the goods on Nathan Wade, man. Dude, never. How are you going to prosecute the fucking ex-president of the United States and you've never done a criminal fucking case in your life, man? You know what I'm saying? So this goes to show that, and like you said, I don't know if you ever seen it, but there's a thing on Twitter with her talking about in the election, how about we hire a DA who don't bang his subordinates, and then she got in there and did the same exact fucking thing.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like, and I'm with Trish on this, man. This is DAs all across the fucking
yeah
country, because when I got snatched up, right, in Virginia, they got to, you know, Virginia follows the feds, right? So you do a pre-sentencing report, right?
Yeah.
And they're supposed to charge you with the guidelines of the pre-sentencing report. Well, when I finished filling out all that paperwork, man, they said the high time I was supposed to get was 5 years and 11 months. Right? That was what I was supposed to get, 5 years and 11 months. Well, the narcs were mad that I wouldn't rat my people out. So they went to the DA and were like, yo, he won't work with us. And they fucking threw the goddamn book at me. I got 20 years, suspended 10, and a $25,000 fine.
Yeah.
Now, if they're supposed to go by the guidelines, he just got with that DA. It was like, yo, the narcs got with the DA. It was like, yo, he won't work with us, man. Just throw the fucking book at him. And they threw the fucking book at me because it's all corrupt, man. And then my sister came down from New York for my hearing and heard the DA look at George Ness, my lawyer, and say, I'm not showing this kid any leniency just because he paid you a shitload of money, George. So I'm not showing any leniency today. And then I got the fucking book thrown at me. So this corruption ain't nothing new, but what it is in New York, the corruption is so fucking putrid, but the whole entire fucking legal system is ran by Democrats. See, what happens in Georgia is there's still Republicans in power. You know what I'm saying? So they fucking pounced all over this to get it thrown out. And that's what, Bongino had a really good take on this, man, because I've given up on every fucking right wing. I despise them, man. I despise, like Dinesh said, that slang's going to do. What the fuck good does that do, dude? What the fuck good? Or bitching about some, how come there's not representation in the NBA? And shut the fuck up, dude. Shut up, man. They're playing the same fucking game that they cried about the left playing for years, and they've all, I don't know if it's fucking subconsciously or purposefully, but they're all falling to shit, man. They're all falling to shit, man.
Yeah.
The simulation is broken. The only place you're going to get concise, nuanced, and clear views is with the Hoteps, man. Is with the Hoteps. So everybody, get off your asses. Come to the fucking grifties and hang out with real people who really live up the king's dream, and we judge each other by the content of our characters and not the color of our motherfucking skin. Hotep Nation, Hotep and Build. I'm bringing fire to the grifties. Everybody's getting lit that wants to get lit. I love y'all. Have a good fucking weekend. I'm about to go out here and snatch and grab cars all night. Peace, HJ. Have a good weekend, brother.
All right, man. Hotep and Build. Rudy crazy ass. Let's get Strong Dad in here. Jonah said he needed to call in. Go ahead, Jonah. It's a race. It's a race. It's a race between Jonah and Strong Dad. Damn, they got him back up there. Damn. More questioning? That's insane. That is insane. They got his ass back up there. What is this? What is this? U.S. income taxpayers can now get refunds in Bitcoin. Oh, word? Oh, shit. They trying to come in our lane.
Call from
Strong Dad.
Strong Dad.
Hey.
Yeah, what's good, bro?
Man.
Happy Friday.
Just working hard. Hey, happy Friday, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What Goldstein said was A100 spot on. And what he said is the reason that I'm not going to vote this time around either. The same way I didn't vote last time, I ain't voting this time. It's not because the Lily White movement is working, because that's not going to deter me. It's because of what Goldstein said. What he said isn't a scenario that talks about their character. What he said is a premonition. That is going to happen. And a vote for the left is going to be the same as a vote for the right. It's not going to, they're going to use Trump as a scapegoat. We talked about it. We already know they're going to use him as a scapegoat for half of the shit that we've been watching being produced. That's going to come down the pipeline. So there's no reason for me to believe that a vote for the right is going to, curb this or put it on halt. They're all going to fall for the same exact process, the same exact program. And I'm not gonna put my signature on no paper for it. I'm not gonna check no box for that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not voting. I'm not voting because I don't believe that the right has the fucking balls to actually produce anything. If they did, then we would have seen them reach out, a long time ago. They're just not there. They're gone. politics is a fucking shit show. This is idiocracy, and I'm here for the circus, for sure. I'm going to have a lot of fun with the circus.
I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. Yesterday, they had House Financial Services Committee. I'll show you right here. I'll show you what I mean. I'll put this on the screen just to add some more evidence to what you said, right? Let's pull this up. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's pull this up. Right? Because, you know, when it got us looking left, you got to look right. When the guy's looking right, you got to look left. Right? So first thing I did was I went to the House Financial Services Committee. House Financial Services Committee, right? And I posted this on my X account. Feels weird saying that. So it says right here, the CARES Act provided backstop funding at Treasury to help the Fed use its 13.3 authorities to massively expand its reach, lending far and wide as Congress instructed. Most recently, the Fed set up a new lending facility called the Bank Term Funding Program in response to the March 2023 bank failures and interest rate risk facing financial institutions. Now, remember, we did that one stream where I was showing y'all how they just make up a new program anytime they want to just come up with some new rules. So that's the new program, right? So it says, following the bank failures, the Fed has reportedly been working to re-examine operations of its discount window, given that operations appeared, as Chair stated, clunky. Part of that re-examination involves the role played by the Federal Home Loan Banks, the provision of liquidity to banks, which we can discuss today, though I am skeptical that the Home Loans Bank were integral in the Fed's emergency lending clunkiness last March. As the Fed re-examines its operations, an open question is whether legislation may be needed to address some of the problems in the Fed's liquidity provision present last March. Meanwhile, federal banking agencies appear to be examining new liquidity rules for financial institutions, some of which have implications for markets for Treasury securities. Let's all hope that the Fed does better at analyzing such things than it did with its under-analyzed recent Basel Bank capital proposal. I believe that's in response. I think that's in reference to Basel III. And he thanks the witnesses for today. So yesterday they had a hearing about basically, he details here, look, 2008, 2019, and he's talking about most recently 2023, how the Fed mishandles financial calamity, right? So Trump comes in office. We're going to get a nice boom. We've been seeing booms with Bitcoin. My guess is that in March, we'll get a rate hold, and then maybe in the summer, we'll get a rate drop. So the floodgates are open back up. We'll head towards another financial crisis, and the Fed will come up with the CBDC. More banks will fail. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. I think it's going to happen under Republican watch.
There's no out. And if we voted in Democrats, you think that's going to change that outcome that you speak of?
No.
They're just going to create new language to say why they agree with it or why they think it needs to happen. It's not going to change it.
Yeah.
And it is upsetting, you know, and especially when you pointed out Donnie's tweet, you know, and because that's the process, right? That's the process. Push everyone away. Like, they don't want to win. I don't believe that the win is actually the goal here at all. I think it's just about, you know, making more of an identification for our groups because they're about to do some fuck shit. Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah.
And you know what? Proof that they're not actually finna change is in the conversation you had with homeboy yesterday.
What?
Owen? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This is why. Because I listened to that conversation and I listened intently on the words that were used by him and how he said things.
Okay.
And the issues that you spoke of were never addressed. You brought him up, he acknowledged the issues, and he went completely around the subject several times until he was successfully able to stop the conversation. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I was locked up with niggas like that. All right, and these white boys, I'm telling you right now, these white boys, they know some of the shit is fuck shit. They know. They know. And when you have an intimate conversation with some of these like real ones, they'll tell you they know it's fuck shit.
Yeah.
But they will tell you, but I have no choice but to deny. Even if I believe it's some fuck shit, you'll never see me agree. I'm not allowed to agree with you. Just like they can't sit with you at the lunch table, they can't agree with you on the political stage. And the very fact that you can see sense to one of these dummies and they can't agree with you is the very proof that ain't not a damn thing gonna change voting for either one of these fools. We're heading in the same direction no matter what. They can't agree with you can tell them the sky is blue, and if it's a nigga telling them, then they're gonna tell you why that whole thing is a construct. I'm telling you right now, they are destined to lose. They're destined to lose. And I land up.
They're destined to what?
To lose.
To lose?
Yes, sir. We're destined to lose. Not the Hotep, obviously, but
you sound like
American.
You sound like Uncle Hotep now.
Yo, man, listen, man, Uncle Hotep, sometimes, man, I'll be like, bro, how is you a real nigga and then you don't make a pig feet cuisine, my nigga? What?
You said what?
Do you remember the pig feet? He said pig feet is a 5-star cuisine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he lost his
I ain't
mind
never
with
heard that in my life.
No, there's no way I would believe in that.
No, you find pig feet at a gas station in the hood. That's where you find pig feet. The gas station liquor store.
You find it at the grease truck or some shit like that, the food truck. The soul food spot. I'm not believing it's 5-star. I refuse to believe that.
Oh yeah. And the blasphemy that he spoke about club music, you know what I'm saying?
House music?
Yo, man, you don't speak ill of that shit, man. My dad he was a DJ when I was young, so all them hits, man. I was in school going, you the bomb? What? You the bomb? Man, come on, don't play with me, Uncle Hotep. That's black culture right there. That's it. That's all I got.
All right, yo, appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man, Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill. Lord have mercy. Yeah, Uncle's wilding with that shit. You don't disrespect house music like that. He was definitely wilding on that. Damn, they still grilling this nigga. We're gonna have Jonah. Jonah's about to get in here. Pause. Wait, what's going on? Oh, I adjusted this window. That's right. He looks like he's wrapping it up, right? Oh, why did he standing up? Jonah, call in. Where's Jonah? Jonah, call in. Let's talk to Jonah. I know Jonah got the research.
Usually just tag
Call
bus
from.
stations with my
You can write down your contact
Jonah.
information for us.
Jonah.
Good.
What's good? You on your bad phone?
No.
Yeah, you on your bad phone, bro.
No, I'm homeless though, but give me a second, I'll try the other phone.
All right. This nigga say he was homeless? What? Did I hear that correct?
Used the chart during argument under a 611 demonstrative.
Okay.
That's why
And
he don't know
any
about
objection
it.
to this,
I'm kicking it with
and
Brad
treat it
at
as a
official
demonstrative
hold.
response.
Facts.
No, Your Honor,
Facts.
given the parameters we discussed earlier.
Okay. Can we go ahead and mark that an exhibit and make it part of the record in advance of argument, since I don't know when we're going to be able to have that scheduled. I think this would be Defense Exhibit 28. Well, let me go down the order just so we're staying organized. Ms. Merchant does not have any further witness. Excuse me. Ms. Merchant, on behalf of Mr. Roman, has no further evidence. Mr. Stay down.
Your Honor, we are in the process of the court allow us to obtain certain phone records.
Waiting on Jonah. We're waiting on Jonah to call back in.
We have them in draft.
We're waiting on Jonah.
Say draft. We have them informally. We do not have
Hold on.
certification. And they would deal with. Remember, I asked Mr. Wade about certain activity down in Hapeville during the time period. and it
All right,
deals
look at
with that
this.
specific time period. So we're talking about February to March of 2021 to November 1st of 2020.
And is it your intention that you would
Y'all seen this? Look at this.
Hello, I'm Admiral Rachel Levine. This Black History Month, I'm pleased to partner with OMH in advancing better health through better understanding.
Wait a second.
Is
Is that kente cloth? Is that like, what is that? Digital African American? What's that in the background? That's like digital kente cloth? What is this? And if you look, they got the same design underneath here. It's supposed to be like, I guess, an African theme. This is interesting. This is interesting marketing. Wow. So I think this is the trans motherfucker that in the military.
With OMH in advancing better health through
Admiral Rachel.
through better understanding for Black communities. Climate change is having a disproportionate effect on the physical and mental health of Black communities. Black Americans are more likely than white Americans to live in areas and housing that increase their susceptibility to climate-related health issues. And 65% of Black Americans report feeling anxious about climate change's impact. Through
What? When? Who said this? Nobody asked me shit.
our Office of Climate Change and Health Equity and the Office of Environmental Justice, we're working with providers and community leaders to identify innovative approaches that empower communities to address the health consequences linked to climate change.
Like what?
Visit
Like what?
Call from
Jonah.
Yo, Jonah, what's up?
Nah.
What's the research you got for us?
I think you can file filings. So the reason they're sticking on the money is because it's unconstitutional. She's profiting, and she's paying him $1 million while she's getting $136 herself. How's she paying him back all that money? But it's all in the filings here. And if you take a look, so yeah. And the other thing is, so he's not qualified to be a RICO attorney.
What?
He never took a profit, and she's paying him $1 million, while the other two are getting like 100. And the one guy that's his subordinate actually wrote the book about RICO trials in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
So now the reason it's unconstitutional, if you get the screens up, basically she's profiting by actually keeping the trial going.
She what?
She's profiting by having the trial continue. Because when she's paying him like 10 times her salary, almost, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh. And how is she profiting?
Because he's spending that money on her, so that's why they're trying to say that she's paying him back.
How is that? How is she profiting? I see he's giving her cash for trips.
Because
they're taking trips.
When he's taking her on the trips, then she's actually the one paying his bills, right? She is his only income.
Yeah, but she's paying him.
Yeah, but again, too, she's authorizing the payments way over what her own budget is, right?
No, I get that, but you can't prove that in court. Not the way they got this shit set up. It's too vague. When you got something like security, it's like, what is your life worth? So you can't say she's overpaying him. You can't really prove that.
Well, again, too, that's what the Georgia Constitution says, right? They have to be on this, what is it there?
It says right here, now that I agree with. The 5th and 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution, Article 1, Section 1, Paragraph 1, Article 6, Section 8, Paragraph 1 of the Georgia Constitution guarantee under principles of due process, Mr. Roman, the right to be prosecuted by a disinterested prosecutor. Now, I agree. She definitely should not be involved. The money thing, I don't think you can really touch that unless you show me, some checks and balances. But she's not only paying his salary, she's giving him money back for that money that he spent on the trips. So if, for example, right, the transaction will go like this. I pay you a salary, right? You take that salary and you take me on a trip. right? Now that right there would be illegal, right? But if I take you out, I mean, if you take me out with the money I gave you, and I give you that money for that trip back, how can you say she's doing money? And this is the loophole that she's using is cash, and that's why I say you can't touch that.
Well, you can, because the bar association, right? They're supposed to have all the cash documented, so that's where it's a violation of as an attorney.
But that's with the bar association.
Yeah, so that would still apply to them.
It would apply to this case and show why she should be removed from the case. Correct. But the reach that she's doing something, like making money. That's the thing. Is she making money? Making that claim is not the right claim. It's much better to be right and exact and say, oh no, she's supposed to be a disinterested party, and the money is supposed to be documented, and it's not being documented. Now say that. Don't say she's making money.
Now there's a lot more to it too, because he was actually hired as the one to investigate the deaths within the prison system under her.
Yeah.
And he took no notes, but he allegedly investigated, but took no notes and never documented a thing.
Yeah, you got to document that.
So there's a bunch more to it, and it's like at the end of the day, right? Susan Sora was paid for whatever, too, right? He funded all her.
Yeah.
So basically,
she came straight out of Howard, where they manufacture these motherfuckers like Langley.
Well, the other thing though too is that Bradley, that guy, the one that was on earlier, the fat guy that you're showing, he's the one who put it all in an affidavit too. So then, why did he put it in an affidavit? Something dirty happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he put it all in an affidavit. Then he was trying to claim privilege yesterday too, and the whole thing's been a shit show.
Yeah, it's a whole shit show. It's a whole theater.
Yeah. But again, too, I just want to make sure that you had the document there as to why they're focusing on the money.
Mm-hmm.
Because a constitutional argument, right? That would disqualify her. Now they know for a fact that she's disqualified. No one else is going to touch this case.
Yeah.
It's garbage.
Yeah, it's a wrap for her. It's a wrap for her.
Done.
It's a wrap for her.
Yeah. Anyway. And yes, they say I'm homeless. I got evicted, but whatever.
You got evicted?
Yeah, well, I was dealing with health issues, and then, life's been great, so whatever. I'm in better health than I've been in a long time, so whatever. If money fell behind, I don't care.
Where you at now?
Right?
Where you at now?
I'm staying in a motel right now, but I got money to pull out. I got other pensions and stuff to pull out, but again, too, it is what it is. I was dealing with some health issues. I got them taken care of better than fucking doctors ever did, and
Yeah.
As long as I'm happy, I don't give a fuck. It's a new reason to move forward.
Absolutely. New reason to move forward.
I call every day. Have I ever complained about anything? Fuck
nope.
No. So, it's just it was a birthday present since my birthday was yesterday. But hey, whatever. It's all great.
Yesterday was your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Happy birthday, Jonah. Yo, cakes in the chat, y'all. Cakes in the chat for Jonah's birthday.
That's what I said. Hotep was hated on the Big L on the day of his murder. That's how I know that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, birthday cakes in the chat for Jonah, man. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. Anyway, Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill. Be safe, Jonah.
Yeah.
Man. Praise up for Jonah.
HHS.gov for more information and tune in next Thursday.
This is real life, yo. Oh my God. Oh, how is this real life? We are a joke of a country. We are. How do you even write this in the history books, yo? How do you write this in the history book? See, what had happened was the United States reached a point where one of their admirals, who was a transgender, is like, wait, what? What's going on with this civilization? And the transgender got in front of the stage, and they said that black people are afraid of the climate. It's like, oh my fucking God. Ohio Tep, call in, man. Ohio Tep, call in. So I had to go find my old video from Gutfeld. Let's play it for y'all. Y'all probably seen it a million times. Especially if you, yeah, here we go.
What do you buy this, Hotep?
Yeah, climate change is racist. I walked out the house the other day and the cloud called me. I said, terrible.
I think that's a first. I think that's a first.
But I said, joke's on you. I didn't vote for Biden. I ain't black.
Everybody love that one. I mean, come on, yo. What are we really doing, yo? Yeah, and this is another plot I told y'all about before where they try to, use blackness to pass shit. Use blackness to pass shit. Oh, we want climate change? Sprinkle some black on it. So they do. They sit around the Illuminati table and say, oh, let the blacks handle it. Call in the blacks. That's what they do every single time.
Call from.
Ty, what's up, yo?
What up?
What's up, yo?
Shit, I see you been
Happy
writing.
Friday. Huh?
I see you been writing.
Writing what?
Jokes.
Oh, something like.
I saw that. I was like, okay. Saw that
Something.
structure there.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I wrote that on the spot, though. That was off the cuff.
All right.
Yeah.
You finally covered something. I've been tracking this for a while. This whole like case and
Fantasy?
everything. That's why I was asking you. Yeah, that's why I was asking you whether you thought they would get him or not.
Get who?
Trump.
Oh.
Whether they're gonna try, actually like lock him up or something.
Everybody getting the call though. He's got the red carpet all the way through to the finals.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I mean, that's why this trial is kind of funny because I'm like, okay, so this is the play, right? They're gonna take him to court and we're gonna have the scandal now.
That's how they help get it off, right? Pause.
Yeah, it's like a soap opera.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what I don't know. I never watched any of them lawyer shows or anything. Like what was it? What was one of them? Was Ally McBeal or some shit like that? They used to have them old shows, the lawyer shows.
No,
I never.
What are you talking about?
I never kept up with any of them. That's what this is. This is like one of those TV lawyer shows. Like this is the kind of stuff that happens on shows
Exactly. This remind me of
They all
Power.
know each other, like you were saying.
It remind me of Power. It very much today, especially when he had the other dude up on the stand. I was like, oh, this shit is straight out of Power because it's like she's a DA. D. Wade is the prosecutor, and this guy on the stand today was the attorney for his divorce. So it's like a whole bunch of attorney just, love triangle shit that's going on. I don't know, man. This shit is messy.
Shit is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that interview yesterday, I ain't get to say it. That was dope. I love that. I've been wanting to see y'all talk. Yeah, I've been wanting to see y'all talk. That was dope.
Hey,
I
cool.
enjoyed
That's
that.
my peoples, man. He good.
And I don't know who homie was you out on the phone after, but he was spitting.
Oh, that was Negro Damas.
Yeah, appropriate name.
Yeah, that's what the chat was calling him yesterday. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he
my
was
nigga.
he was spitting for real.
He used to be my neighbor.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. I lived in the hood for a little stint, a little fake ass hood, and it got a little rough back there. I mean, it wasn't super crazy, but shit went down. It's basically like, you know how you have an apartment complex and it's one big U? So like you take the driveway in, and then there's like apartments, and then you go in the back, and then you make a U, and then you come out the apartment complex. So it's 2 ways in, right? 2 ways in, 2 ways out. And we lived in the back, and the back is where all the shit popped off at. You know what I mean? And
right. Yeah.
so we was in the back. I think what they did was they always put the niggas in the back. Now that I think about it, so we got it one of the back. That's how I ended up meeting Chords, Buku, Will, all them niggas, you know. But I knew Quad from before that. I knew him from before that. But yeah, all them cats, man, was back there, and that's when I used to hoop. I used to go to the park and play ball. That's how I knew all of them. I used to play ball back there.
I'm gonna think about going and doing that again too myself, to be honest.
And Smoke used to be wild. This is one little nigga named Smoke. He used to be back there wilding. My nigga DK, I met DK down there. DK was mad cool. Remember DK knocked some dude out at the park. I was like, oh Lord have mercy. But yeah, that's my peoples that right there, man. I got a bunch of people I could call like in the hood and like be like, yo, what you think about this? Like, you know, black people on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like that are really like going through it. The caller yesterday, he does well for himself. He's got a niche and he does well for himself. All legit money. He's a mentor for kids and shit like that. But I got young cats, you know, I could call and be like, what do you think about this topic? I call my niece, I call my nephew and be like, what do you think about this? Black people hunting white people, and they all. That's
what I like doing.
And sometimes I don't like calling them because they're gonna look at me like, why are you asking me this dumbass question? What kind of shit is this? You know what I mean?
This is why I was gonna do a show with my sister, because she don't really be on top of this stuff like that. So like, we have like a perfect dynamic. You know?
Yeah.
I can run a lot of this stuff by her, and she has a lot of those type of takes too.
Yeah. All right, let me get to another call. It's Friday. I want to get out of here, man.
All right, man. Hotep and Bill.
Who this? Where is he? AK, where are you? AK, caller. Let's hear from AK real fast. We made some adjustments on menoforder.com. We got some new shit coming soon. So we made some adjustments here. Hold on, let me see something. Yeah, we made some adjustments. Cleaned up the page a whole lot.
Call from
AK.
AK, what's up, man?
What up, AJ?
What's good with them? We got the hoodies back in stock. The hoodies are back in stock. Yeah, the mental order hoodies are back in stock. So y'all can cop those. We restock those. We got large and XL up there in case y'all want to get those. Yep.
Yeah, see, I need an extended run. I need one of them 3 or 4 X's, bro.
Oh yeah, you definitely need a big boy hoodie.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is my Hotep shirt that I got from HotepCon. I need another one, man, because like the stuff on the front that says Hotep, it's like peeling off, and I don't want to wear it.
Yeah.
Until I can like find a way to fix or whatever. But I might just have to wait until next HotepCon and get another one. So.
You got to get another one. Yeah.
Where? Hey, man, a couple of things I wanted to throw out there.
What?
With this Fani Willis thing, right? People are getting so distracted, and you're on it, right? Like you understand what it is. The issue with the money isn't about the fact that what she did with it. The issue with the money, the reason that's even part of the case, is because it shows that there was an impropriety and that there was actually a bias and a motivation for them to prosecute and bring this prosecution against Trump. That's
Correct.
It. That's the only thing that the money has to do with it. It's not about if Fani was getting kickbacks or whatever. I mean, that part, I honestly believe Fani, because she has that boule, I'm a woman, I'm going to pay this nigga no matter what. Because she even said, if it's 1,000, if it's 2,500, she even said, I don't even check.
Right.
You tell me this is how much I'm supposed to pay you back.
Yep.
Here's the cash.
Yeah.
So people are getting so distracted on that. It's like, that's not the point of the money. The money point is that it was an incentive for him. And if they had a relationship before the Trump trial or, before the case was brought, that's the financial incentive to show that she is not being unbiased. That's it.
Correct. Correct. You can't be exchanging your coochie and money with the nigga that's prosecuting the case you overseeing. Correct.
Exactly, because he has a financial incentive. He has the financial incentive, and that when they're together, I guess you could say that she gets something out of it. But that's why her testimony kind of kills that point. But that's neither here nor there, because the question is, were they together before? And the answer seems to be yes, right?
Yes.
She said no. He said no. But other motherfuckers are saying, yeah, they were. And then that's why they're trying to go through all this financial stuff.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. Listen, I understand what Goldstein's saying. I understand what Strong Dad's saying. But listen, man, with me being in politics as long as I've been, you got to get local and worry about what's going on local. So if you hear some nigga on Twitter, some white dude fucking saying like, oh, blacks don't need to be here or whatever, like that motherfucker don't live where you vote. That motherfucker ain't running for office. And I would encourage,
and they bots too.
That too, yeah. I mean, they're
he's not even in the country.
Yeah, man. There's so many layers to it, and so what I would encourage people like Strong Dad and even Goldstein to do, and maybe they have. So I can't say what they have or haven't done. Is go and find out what your local Republicans are doing, and go try and kick it with these niggas. Because I'm gonna tell you this, man. You will be surprised by the genuine like excitement for any new faces, regardless of anything. And sure, you might go and maybe you're in a bad area that has a bad group of Republicans or whatever. But yeah, man, I mean, I just want to encourage, don't just shut down the possibility of voting because of that. If you don't want to vote, don't fucking vote. But don't put it on, because these right conservatives online are talking some crazy racist shit. Fuck those niggas. Like, care about what's in your local community. And if you still walk away and say, yeah, I can't fucking vote for any of these clowns, then so be it. But don't base that shit off of what some motherfuckers are saying online, because as we've pointed out a million times, and like the entire premise, these motherfuckers are grifting. And the truth is, when you have more free speech than you actually, I don't think that Elon has real free speech. We know that. But when you open it up wider than it was before, then you're actually going to incentivize those identitarians. And on the right, the identitarian grift is strong this season, man. They going all in. But again, you go and meet with some of these local cats, you ain't hearing that same shit. They want you to be around. Like they're like, a young, not white person, maybe we can win now. Like at a local level, for sure. As you go up higher, then it's the power dynamics, and motherfuckers don't want you eating off of their plate,
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So I just wanted to throw that out there too. Also, shout out to Goldstein moving up the Grifty chart. He just cracked top 20. Make sure you're going to grifties.com. You can do 10 votes per hour. I've been trying to move you up too, HJ, but you're steady stuck at 13. But Goldstein moved from like 26. He's up to the 20th spot. So make sure to go to grifties.com and get that vote on.
You're right. He is there. Oh, shit. He's right there next to his homeboy, Bryson Gray.
I know. He's going to take over. I'm telling you, man. He's going to surpass
Bryson Gray and Hannah. Oh, shit. Goldstein is officially beating Ben Shapiro on the Grifties.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right, man. Oh, man.
I see me here. Yeah. Where's Unk at?
Shit, I don't even know where Unk's at. I don't even know if he's on. I know. That's a shame. That's a shame, man. Someone needs to get up on that, especially with his Cracker Barrel take. Listen, I'm a Cracker Barrel guy. I am. Like, I like their breakfast hash brown.
Yeah.
But come on, man, you can't compare that to other places, dog. Like, it's still like it's Perkins, but just like more southern, I guess.
Yeah. Perkins is fire though. Perkins.
It depends on where you go, man.
They got the what do you call it? The cinnamon. What's the that cinnamon donut you always get in the mall? The with the glaze on it. The circular thing, that wrap you always get. What's that shit?
You talking like a mini donut?
No, the cinnamon sugar wrap looking joint.
Like a churro?
No.
A crepe? A crepe?
Nah, the shit you get in the mall. Cinnabon. Thank you, Lauren. Cinnabon.
Okay.
Word. The Cinnabon. See, my niggas know. The Cinnabon joint. They got a version of those like a Cinnabon.
Yeah, no, they do. They do.
They got the Cinnabon pancakes. Cinnamon roll.
You're right.
They got the Cinnabon pancakes. The Cinnabon pancakes, yo, they had me in a hole for a whole year, yo. For a whole year, I had to get the Cinnabon pancakes, man. Them shit is fire. We used to go to Perkins.
You want to know what's crazy? I went to the first time. I went to a Wendy's. Some of them got breakfast now, and they had like a little Cinnabon thing that you could get.
Yeah,
Cinnabon, man. They all over, man. They putting that shit everywhere, dog.
I love Cinnabon. I love Cinnabon. Cinnabon's fire.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna let you get back at it.
All right, yo.
Hotep and Build. Happy Hotep Friday, and have a good weekend, man.
All right, you too, bro. Who is this? We got a semi-new caller. See what they got for us today. Hotep Jason about to call in. Rudy wants to double dip. I think that's Rudy that wants to double dip. Is that you that wants to double dip, Rudy? Yeah, that's him. So let me get Jason in here, and then I'm going to try and enjoy my weekend. Hotep chat lag is long. Hit the live button and catch up to the live. So it looks like the hearing's over. It's pretty obvious that Fani should be disqualified.
Call from
Jason.
Yo, Jason, what's up, man?
All right. Well, I think that Trump is going to be the one to win.
Win what?
I'd like to explain my thinking on it. Win the installation.
I agree with that. Installed. Yes, I agree with that. Yes. What's your reasoning behind that?
It seems like for the longest time, the person to be installed was the one that played ball well enough on, either side every few years.
Yeah.
They had to switch it up to keep people engaged. But with everything collapsing at a quicker and quicker rate, it seems like they can't play that safe game anymore. And ever since they didn't install Hillary, it seems like the strategy is to install the person that's going to create the most chaos. Because if you have so much chaos, then that's what's keeping everybody engaged these days.
Right. And then you get to legislate order.
Yeah. And so it seems like now you got to more rapidly switch it back and forth to keep the other side as enraged as possible.
Yep.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Facts. That's exactly it.
All right, well, that's all I had for you today.
Hey, appreciate you, Jason.
Hey, thanks. Hotep and Build.
Jason got the call. He definitely got it. That's what's happening. Trump about to win the next installation. Is Trump talking about it? So her dad went up there today. I saw that too. Her dad was talking about, he ain't know about her relationship.
Call from
Rudy the Vet.
Rudy, what's up, man?
Yeah, real quick, man. I'm too in and out. Man, last night, right?
Huh?
I want everybody, about the first 35 minutes, because it's just Tim and Ian and his little cast talking dumb shit about the Fani case. But he gets into the judiciary here, where they were bringing rules to the floor to force every FISA surveillance thing to have a warrant attached to it. They're getting ready to vote it out of
a warrant attached to what?
To anything. So when the FISA court spies, you know what I'm saying? Whenever they do a query, whatever they had to do, everything had to be warranted, documented. You know what I'm saying? Everything had a warrant. So, that was, they're not going to get rid of it, but at least they would have had a paper trail of everything that they were fucking doing.
Yeah.
All they needed was the head of the Intel committee to show up at the hearing that voted out of rules. Well, we all know every committee in Congress right now is headed up by a Republican. I don't know who, I forget what name he said it was the chairman of that committee. But guess what the Intel committee did? Fucked on it. Didn't show up. And then Mike Johnson came in there and shut the whole goddamn thing down, man. The next day, Jake Sullivan's on national TV talking about we can't do that, man, because it's going to limit the power of the due date, man. Like, I respect what AK's saying, man, and you might get a nice local Republican mayor, but once it comes up the line, once it climbs up the line, man, once you run out of you run your 2 terms of mayor and you're trying to move up in the state, it's a good old boys club, man. And skin color don't mean shit with the Republicans, but it's a good old boys club, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They just straight up, the head of the Intel committee, all he had to do was show up to the hearing and they fucked. They fucked on the hearing because they knew that it would have got slapped. They would have came out of rules, and it wouldn't have got passed in the Senate. But at least the Republicans would have been like, "Look, we want a warrant on everything the FISA court does," and the Republicans shot that shit down. There's one party, man, the Uniparty, man.
Yep.
You have your outskirts. You got a couple Republicans on the outskirts. All the Democrats marching lockstep, and all the fucking Uniparty marching line. All the Republicans and only they marching line. They're the controlled op, dude. They're controlled op, man. So buy some ammo, come to Grifties, have a good time, man. I'm out, man. Happy Friday, everybody. Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill. Phone lines closed. Shout out to Rudy. Yeah, like I said, been tightening some things up over here on menofwater.com. Want to make sure we keep things nice and lean. But like I said, we got the Flow is in stock. Apex is in stock. The hoodies are in stock. So, with the hoodies, this is the official Men of Water hoodie, right? But then we got the sleeve jump off, as you can see there. It's going to say Master Your Mind going down the sleeve. That's fly right there. So that's the Master Your Mind hoodie. We got the Body of Steel shirts coming soon. We're going to do some Body of Steel shit. It's going to be fire. We might do some Superman shirts. I don't know. But yeah, the hoodies is back in stock. I know somebody just ordered one or two. So AG, shout out to AG. AG takes care of merch. Make sure everything goes out on time. So yeah, I just want to make sure I put that across your desk. Also, confirmed for the Grifties. Confirmed for the Grifties. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but somebody from the Gutfeld show is coming to the Grifties. It's going to be a presenter at the Grifties. They have confirmed that they will be a Grifties. Somebody from the Gutfeld show. I'm going to tell you guys on Monday who that person is. I'm going to tell you on Monday who that person is. In the meantime, you guys can take a guess in the chat. Think amongst yourselves and try to tell me what you think. Who is going to be at the Grifties? It's going to be insane, y'all. I don't think y'all ready, man. You know what I'm saying? Hotep's throwing parties now. It's up. It's up. It's for the kids, man. For the kids. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. Take care of yourselves. Try to eat healthy. I'm about to go get some Italian food. I need some carbs. Be well. Stay merry. Tell somebody in your family that you love them. And as always, Hotep and Bill.
Envision a sanctuary where community and sustainability are the cornerstones of living. In this haven, every family is able to grow their own food, children flourish through homeschooling tailored to unlock their full potential, and education extends beyond textbooks, instilling self-worth and a deep understanding of the world around them. Here, goodwill isn't just an ideal, it's the essence of daily life, where respect for law and order harmonizes with the community's resourcefulness. This place isn't just a dream, it's a call to action for everyone who believes in a better, more connected way of living. Join us in building a future where each individual's contributions create a tapestry of enduring harmony and prosperity. Join us in Hotepistan,